Hey Cancer, it's Aira. You've been repeating something again and again, emotionally, financially, maybe even in love. It's like every time you think you're done, the cycle spins one more time. But here's the shift. This time, you're finally breaking through. This reading is for those of you who are tired of getting the same result no matter how much you try to grow or heal. If you've been wondering why the old patterns just won't release, or why certain doors haven't opened no matter how ready you are, this is for you. By the end of this reading, you'll know three things clearly: what karmic cycle is closing, what your soul is preparing for next, and what energy you need to focus on to move forward. This is practical. You'll walk away with direction. My sessions start at just $9, and the full details are always in the description below. Let's get into your reading. Your first card is the Ten of Swords. This is the cycle of emotional burnout and over-identifying with pain. You've reached that moment where you're no longer just experiencing the pain. You're starting to recognize it as a pattern that's been subconsciously defining your sense of self. This card comes up when someone has been in the habit of internalizing betrayal, carrying wounds like proof of worthlessness, and attracting more situations that mirror that. The betrayal you've been through wasn't just about someone else. It shaped how you've been showing up to life, always bracing for the next emotional blow. But what's powerful here is that the 10 is an end. You're not in the middle of the pain anymore. You're at the final scene. This means that the part of you that kept choosing survival over peace is now exhausted. It doesn't have the same grip on you. If you've been emotionally numb, in cycles of disappointment, or stuck in toxic relationships or work dynamics, this card confirms the energetic thread has snapped. The story is done. Now you get to decide, what do you want to feel instead? That's the true work ahead. Next is the Moon. Your subconscious is still processing what's real and what was illusion. You've been walking through shadows for a while: confusion, projection, unclear boundaries. This card speaks to emotional deception, not necessarily from others, but from your own mind trying to protect you through denial. You might have felt stuck not because nothing was happening, but because the old version of you couldn't interpret what was really happening in an empowering way. So Spirit kept you in the fog until you were ready to see. And that readiness is here now. You're beginning to trust your own emotional intelligence again. The Moon suggests the karmic loop has been fueled by unconscious fears. Fear of abandonment, failure, or being too much. It's time to bring those fears into the light. You're not meant to have all the answers right now, but you are meant to feel your way forward without letting fear dictate the pace. Pay close attention to dreams, emotional triggers, and instincts. They're giving you the missing pieces. Then we have the Devil. This card makes the karmic loop crystal clear. Addiction to patterns, attachment to outcomes, staying small because you feared power might corrupt you. The Devil represents anything you've given your power away to: another person, a false identity, or the belief that you must suffer to succeed. You've likely been entangled in a relationship, career, or thought pattern that once felt comfortable but became a cage. The illusion of safety kept you there, but the soul is restless now. Here's the truth. This cycle doesn't end just by realizing it's toxic. It ends when you no longer find comfort in it. And that's exactly what's happening. The thrill, the fear, the drama, it's all losing its flavor. You're beginning to feel how heavy it really is. That discomfort is good. It means the karmic contract is ending. You don't need to fight the devil. You just need to walk away. And you finally can. The star comes in now like a breath of fresh air. This is the after, the healing, the moment when you realize the worst already happened, and you're still here, wiser, softer, stronger. The star is showing up to remind you that you're not broken. You're being realigned. You've been spiritually disoriented, unsure of what to trust, but now the light is starting to return. You're being shown what's meant for you, gently, through signs, synchronicities, and little emotional openings. Let hope in, even if it's quiet at first. The star also shows you that your healing journey isn't for nothing. It will ripple out. What you've survived is making you a guide for others, even if you don't fully see how yet. You're becoming someone who lives from clarity, not trauma, and that is a radical shift. Up next is the Six of Pentacles. This is the shift in energetic balance. You've been overgiving, emotionally, financially, maybe even spiritually. You've tolerated uneven dynamics in hopes of keeping the peace or staying connected. But this card tells you the karmic repayment is coming. What you poured out will return to you, but from new sources. You're being asked to no longer fund imbalance with your time or energy. This also speaks to finances. If you've felt depleted or blocked around money, this card shows that what's changing isn't just income, it's how you receive. You're learning to allow support, to charge your worth, to walk away from scarcity dynamics that make you beg for breadcrumbs. By year end, you could be in a completely different material position, but only if you stop justifying lack. The Fool is your invitation to leap forward, not in a reckless way, but with trust. You've carried so much weight that moving a new chapter might feel foreign, even uncomfortable. The Fool says, yes, you'll feel exposed. Yes, it might not go exactly as planned, but the karma is done now. You won't repeat the past unless you actively try to relive it. This card also speaks to innocence restored. You're not naive. You're clear. You're being asked to take a risk on a new job, a move, a new way of showing up in relationships, something that doesn't follow the old formula. And if you're wondering whether you'll fall flat, Spirit says the leap is the proof that you're no longer bound. You don't need to know how it ends. You just need to begin. Then we see the Queen of Cups. This is your emotional leadership. The karmic cycles you've been trapped in are rooted in emotional neglect, yours and others. But now you're reclaiming your own emotional landscape. This queen shows you learning to hold space without drowning in others' emotions. You're becoming more attuned to your inner world, and that gives you discernment. She's also a sign of deepening intuitive gifts. If you've been considering offering healing, mentoring, or creative services, this is confirmation. Your healing is now fertile soil for helping others. You're no longer trying to save people, you're showing them how to save themselves, just by being emotionally anchored. Your final card is Judgment. This is the awakening. This is when you finally choose you. It's the spiritual verdict. The old story is no longer yours. You're not going backward. You're not returning to what was familiar. You're stepping into a higher alignment, but only because you've outgrown everything else. Judgment marks a karmic reckoning. The loop is closed. This card also calls you to a higher responsibility, to yourself, your purpose, your truth. You're not who you were even 6 months ago. So why would you keep choosing from that old identity? You're being invited to rise up and take ownership of your new timeline, unapologetically. This is your rebirth moment. No more hiding. Here's your reflection to take with you. What would I be doing right now if I truly believed I was free from the past? And your affirmation, I no longer carry what broke me. I rise through what shaped me.